Welcome back. So far in our devotions looking at holiness, we have thought about the holiness of God, how there is the potential for the holy encounter when heaven touches earth. And we've also thought about Jesus, holiness in human form. Now we turn our thoughts towards our own experience. Now we, unlike God, are not divine beings with unbounded holiness. And actually we might feel a long way from being described as holy. The Bible has a word, sin, which is used to describe the separation between us and God. And we might struggle with that word sin, but think of it as separation. Our sin leads to separation between us and God, between ourselves and the people around us, between humanity and God's creation. Think about how we're treating this planet. We have become separated from the good things that God has created. Now, does this separation disqualify us from the love of God? Should we all pack it in and assume it isn't worth it? Well, luckily not. In Romans 3, Paul says this, "For all have sinned and all have fallen short of the glory of God," saying we're all in the same boat. And it goes on and says we are now justified by the grace, by his grace, which is a gift, through the redemption of Jesus Christ. Now, yesterday we thought about the person of Jesus and we looked at the cross. That moment in history when Jesus was condemned for our sins, a once and for all moment in history. And all we have to do is to receive it. And it should be remembered that we need to receive this in full as well. Simon, in the book that I recommended on Monday, you can go back for that recommendation, said, it's not like going to a restaurant and getting to the time when you pay your bill and saying, well, let's go Dutch, let's pay half and half. You pay your half and I'll pay half as well. We can't say, oh, you take those ones from back then and I'll try and solve these ones. Or, you take those big ones and I'll just sort out the little ones round the edge. We end up tying ourselves in knots if we try and do that. We say that Jesus has redeemed the world. That word redeemed talks about buying back. It has value. And we say that Jesus has paid in full. And so we need to receive in full as well all that God has for us. Through the Old Testament, there were lots of commands and rules. We'll know some of them. The 10 Commandments. And actually, in the first 5 books of the Bible, there are actually 613 rules that could be followed. And by the time of Jesus, there were people walking around who were pretty smug about themselves. They would say, you know all those rules? Yep, I did them all my life. They make me look pretty good. But they missed the point. Paul got it when he said, all have sinned. They aren't there to make you feel good about yourself. They're there to show you that we aren't God and that we all need God. And that the God who created the universe could reach in and breach that divide between us. Now, Bertrand Russell, the famous atheistic philosopher, said in his autobiography about himself, he said, "The centre of me is always and eternally a terrible pain. It's a curious and wild pain, a searching beyond what this world contains." Now, he struggled to see what was beyond this world. But through the person of Jesus, we have an opportunity to. And today we start a journey about thinking about holiness in ourselves. And we notice the stark contrast between ourselves and God. And the first step is to receive forgiveness from God. because God paid in full on the cross everything that divides us. So to receive this, we first admit our failings and renew our trust and our reliance on God. We lean in to the only one who could have ever saved us. And this isn't a once and forever thing. We can do this every day. Well, why not give it a go and try it now?